this astrology is relentless, but I think it's relentless in really beautiful ways. And I want to give us a space to really feel into that and to get the most out of this full supermoon that's happening in Aquarius on August 11th. We are on destiny, 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 and we just can't get away from this. This full supermoon is really highlighting fate, destiny, soul potentials, deep soul callings. It's as if it just keeps asking us to dig deeper, get more true. Here's a theme that I want to share with you for this particular full moon, and hopefully I can create a video that weaves in with this theme. So this might be the weirdest astrology video that you've ever watched, and it might be the weirdest one I've ever created for us. The reason is this is a full moon in Aquarius, which means the sun's in Leo. Now, this is a really cool axis to work on, right? When it's a full moon, moon and sun are always opposite each other. And so it's this axis point. And in this particular full moon, it's squaring the north and south node. That's the destiny. That's what's making this so fated and so much deeper than a normal, a typical full moon would be, where we're asked to go to a soul place, to make decisions, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I want to talk about this access point and why this video might get so super weird. Aquarius, which is where this moon is at, is an energy of like, let your freak flag fly, like really own your uniqueness, really not just own your uniqueness, but own your uniqueness in a way that serves the collective, that serves community, that serves the whole. Aquarius is a very selfless energy. It's also a very like out there kind of an energy. So like you can think of just real uniqueness. But here's the thing. It's not the surface level kind of uniqueness where we're just doing something because we think it's giving us freedom. It's deep soul uniqueness, right? Stick with me through this video and we're gonna go into this. So we're gonna dive into this. Here's where the weird part comes. Wait, let me give you the axis of Leo. So Leo is where the sun's at. By the way, on this full moon, Venus moves into Leo. That's a big shift. That's a big shift in the feminine, right? Venus represents one of the major feminine aspects in ourselves, but also represents relationship, represents love, represents pleasures of the body, pleasures of the world, material pleasures, like pleasures. But isn't this interesting that Venus is moving signs? So it's like when planets, especially these like interpersonal planets, I mean, of course the outer planets also affect us, but when they're interpersonal, like we feel it a little bit differently. So how this might show up, I know I'm all over the place, but I'm gonna get to the guts and why this might get super fucking weird in a minute. But Venus moving out of Cancer, moving out of a water sign and into Leo, a fire sign, might for some of us feel like coming to the surface. Oh, I can breathe air again. Oh, I can outwardly express into the world. I can express my love. It might feel for some of us just like, oh my God. I've been holding my breath and swimming underwater for a good long time. Oh, it's so good to be back in the sun. It's like coming out of the sea and into the sun, lying on the beach, back into a space where it's more of an outward expression of our Venusian aspect, outward expression of our love, of our creativity, right? Of our pleasure, outward expression of those aspects of self. So that's happening the day of this full moon. Love it. And then I want to talk about Leo. So I just talked a little bit about Leo as in Venus coming into Leo, but let's dig a little bit deeper into Leo energy. Leo energy is a very playful energy. It's a very creative energy. It's the sun. So the sun being in Leo is in its home sign, right? The sun is so happy and the sun wants to shine. When it's in Leo, it's just like, oh, freedom to shine, right? Like freedom to shine my light and feeling into that for yourself, because there's such a gift here. Freedom to shine your own inner light. Now, here's the theme that I see, and this is where things could get really weird in this conversation. The theme that I see that's so prominent, and if there was one question, one reflective question, one theme that would bring you the most during this period of time, my suggestion would be this. It would be, what can I, and I alone, uniquely contribute to the world that no one else can? So let me use a couple of different words. Actually, I'll share it from this angle. I'm listening to a Matthew McConaughey interview on his book, Green Lights. You may hate the book or just not really enjoy him, but I thought that that was such a creative piece of art and just a really beautiful weaving. I have such deep appreciation, and like there were really good like lessons in there for me, and just it was, for me, it touched me. Totally respect that doesn't touch everybody, but I'm listening to this interview that he was doing this week, and when he was putting the book together, he asked himself this question, and this stood out for this full moon. It really stood out. He goes, can anyone else write this book? Like what I'm putting together, is it something that only I can write? Is it something that only I can write? And he had a couple other things, like, is it something that would be of value if my name wasn't on it? If I was some anonymous, nobody, the world didn't know me, would it still be of value? And I love that question too. I don't know that many of us are in that position of like, well, if my name's on it, everyone's gonna read it anyways, so who cares about the value? But I love those two questions, and I'll kind of reframe them. So like that first question is this something that only I can bring out? Like, is this where my unique blueprint, my unique wiring, my unique gifts, my unique callings, my just uniqueness of myself, is this where I shine? Is this where I shine? Just had a conversation with a woman on the team, and she's on this energy, and I'll share it from this kind of example as well. She's just so perfect. She like holds a lot of our marketing, right? And a lot of our communication and how we communicate things out into the world. And she's amazing at it. But she says these words today, and she goes, I don't know if this is my unique genius. I don't know if I'm fully stepping into my unique genius. I feel like I have more to contribute to the team, right? To the whole, to the greater good. I have more to contribute outside of myself. And I feel like I want to really explore what more there is. Like what is my unique genius? What more is there to contribute to the whole? And now the whole doesn't have to mean, right, I don't know, creating a podcast or writing a book, right? The whole could mean your family. It could mean who you work with. It could mean your community. It could mean your partner, right? It's just outside of ourselves. How can I uniquely step into my zone of genius, not zone of competence? This is a time of genius, not competence. You're competent at many things. Like this beautiful woman on the team saying, you know, I'm very competent in marketing. I'm actually really fucking good at it. But I feel like there's a genius in me that's not expressing, that's not serving. It's really about expressing and serving, right? In a way that not only, it's not that I'm like, what is the word? Martyrdom, right? It's not like I'm serving from that place of self-sacrificial service. It's a place of when I step into this unique genius and I serve the greater good from here, it's what also fills me. That's when we know we hit it. That's when we know we hit it. It's something that is our unique genius. We have uniquely been wired for it. We've had unique life experiences for it. It's very unique to us, right? And from that place, it's that when we step into it and we express it outside of us, it comes back to us tenfold. The love comes back to us tenfold. The giving becomes the receiving. It becomes so fulfilling for us, right? It's like we get into that flow state where we could be working around the clock, but it's what we love, so it doesn't feel like work, right? That's the sweet spot. And that's what we keep getting hit over the head with over and over and over and over. And now is a time to really get real and honest and like dig. Like I've had to do some digging and to just go from a really deep soul level, not from a, little egoical place, but from a really deep soul level. What is it that I am most passionate about? What is it that I am like most passionate about? What do I most want to bring into the world? And for me, it helped to also really tighten the timeline. Instead of to go, okay, I have the rest of my life to bring really cool things into the world, like cool new programs, cool retreats, cool books, cool whatever, cool podcasts. I have this, my whole life, it helped to go, the next thing, right? Not this moment in time, I'm not saying that looking at a 10-year goals and plans isn't good, or 5-year, where do we want to be? I'm not saying that that's not helpful or useful, but for this moment in time, something that is really, really useful is if I have until the end of the year, to step into something, to create something, to move into a new role, to really step into my unique zone of genius and to express it, to get it out in the world before the end of the year. Get it out in the world before the end of the year. What is that? What is that? And I know what it is for me because it's loud and it's strong, but it's because I gave it time and space and I gave myself full permission. This is a time of full permission, like freedom, right? Aquarius, full moon in Aquarius is freedom. Now Saturn's sitting on the full moon, and I want to talk about that in a minute because Saturn can be very constrictive. But I want to talk about how it can also be really supportive. Shiva, that beautiful, divine, masculine, high vibrational, masculine energy is also sitting on this full moon. I paused for a moment because I was like, oh my God, that feels really good. And I'll talk about that in a second. So weirdly, this is where I threatened that this could be the strangest podcast ever. I don't know that we have necessarily time for it. But what I kind of thought as I was coming in to filming for you today and being here with you today was, okay, what is it that only I could uniquely deliver? Like, yeah, it's a full moon. There's 1 billion astrologers and 1 billion energy readers and, whatever we all call ourselves, who are sharing things about this moment in time. And I just went, okay, if I was going to let the freak flag fly, it's hard to say that 10 times fast. But if I was really just going to step into my unique zone of genius, what would happen? Nothing came to mind. I was like, oh, well, we'll just go on camera and see what happens. Okay. So do you want to play for a minute? Do you want to play? Like, do you want to just pause for a second? I'll pop back into the astrology. I'll talk about Saturn. I'll talk about Shiva, and I'll give us some practices. So hold on for that, because I will definitely talk practices and more ways that you can really get into this full moon. But if you're up for playing, I'm very curious to see how this goes. I would love to just pause for a moment and deepen into, okay, that energy. Like, let's just throw me in the spotlight around this unique zone of genius, and what is it that I am uniquely like wired to deliver in this moment for the greater good. And if I were going to feel into that, all right, hold on a second. All right, here goes. Yeah, here goes. So it's this feeling in myself of there is so much more. There is such higher vibrations for us to get into. We do not have to live from this like eking our way through murky, stuckness. There is something that is so much higher, and we literally just have to like shift the dial to it. Let me feel for some more. It lights up my tailbone in this really wild kind of a way. Let me feel for a second. All right. Gosh, I almost just want to say like, I can't. Okay, here's how I'm going to do this. Because there's this feeling in myself of, I don't have the right platform to be able to go where I want to fucking go. So this is really actually wildly beautiful and horrifically embarrassing. Because I really want to go there in this moment. Like, I'd really love to just open it up and just fucking let it rip and go to these places. But what is really arising in myself, and it makes my chest kind of, I don't know, just feels in my heart around this, is this is not the platform for me to do that. I can't do that here. I don't have the structures. I don't have the frameworks. This is not the fucking platform for me to go where I want to fucking go, right? It's not. I can't go there in a 30-minute YouTube video. I can't build enough. Here's what it is. I can't whip up enough of a Shakti storm to take us all where I'd like to take us. I can't do it on the platform of YouTube. I can't do it. I can't do it in 30 minutes, right? But it's wanting to whip up this right? Shakti is divine juice. It's awakening juice. It's spiritual juice. It's life force juice, right? It's divine wisdom that we can tap into anytime. It is miraculous stuff to work with, and totally not miraculous at the same time, because it just is. We just don't know much about it, and we often don't have a good, deep, solid relationship to it. But what I want to do is whip up this enormous amount of just amazing, awakening, enlivening, revelatory energy that literally touches your soul, so that you can't sneak out of soul truth, right? So that we can't pretend we don't know. So that we can't get confused. We can't get foggy or cloudy. We can't use mundane excuses like, well, I don't have enough money to do that. Yeah, but the kids, but the blah, 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 blah. Your soul wouldn't be asking for it if it wasn't possible, right? That's what I would want to do. I would want to make it so that we are all literally pinned in the corner, squirming out of uncomfort, because our soul is so loud and so clear, and we know exactly where we're being called to. We know exactly what our unique gifts are, and there's no way we can deny them. There is no way that little self, false self, ego self could override that much truth. There's no way you could deny it. No way. There's no way. You would be squirmy, and it's uncomfortable. It is fucking wildly uncomfortable to live that close to soul fire. Wildly uncomfortable. It makes no logical sense, and it requires an enormous amount of trust. Enormous amount of trust, an enormous amount of letting go of what we think serves. Letting go of what we're attached to. Letting go of what we're attached to, right? But the gift of that is complete fucking liberation. It's the freedom that we're all seeking. We don't even know we're seeking it. We are seeking that that level of freedom, of liberation, which equates to fulfillment, joy, peace, bliss, right? Where you literally have no problems because you don't fucking care. It's not that you don't still do amazing things in the world. It's not that you don't make money. It's not that you don't have beautiful relationships and raise your families in amazing ways, right? But it doesn't have the hooks in. There are no hooks. You literally live above the fucking clouds of shittiness, of this isn't working, that's not right, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. You literally live above the clouds. You're still totally here. You're still totally embodied. You're still totally having a human experience, right? You are so soul embodied, and you are totally participating in life. Totally participating in life. But what you get to do is you get to live from this place up here. This place up here, the air is clean up here, right? The air is so clean. The water is pure up here, right? It's just, and you know, and you are so aligned. You are so aligned with what it is that your unique thread is in this life, right? Your unique thread that you literally do not care how it manifests. You just don't care. You don't care. Can you feel that? It's not that we're not still passionate. It's not that we don't still have a purpose. It's not that we don't still love, right? And it's not that we don't still fucking hurt and cry. And it's not that we're not angry, right? But it's that, it's both and. Both and. We get to have this so embodied experience. Like, you get to experience life in ways that you've never experienced life. The depths of life, the depths of joy, the depths of aliveness. And you don't care. You totally care and you don't care. Like, you totally love, and it doesn't matter if you lose love. You just don't, right? Can you feel the limitlessness of this? It's like this, if there was something that I would want to gift us, if there was something, like, what can I bring through in this? What can I bring through in this world that is so just something that is blueprinted in me, something that I know that I don't know how I fucking know it? It has to do with this. It has to do with this. So that's kind of interesting. I feel like in the confessing, like, I don't feel like I have a platform. I feel like we were maybe able to get to the degree that I was able to get to, right? I was maybe able to whip up a Shakti storm, transmit the level of energy that I can in a YouTube video talking about astrology, right? For 30 minutes. So I want to thank you all for letting me play, for giving me the space and the freedom. If you've hung out and made it through that, right? Like, you let me play, like, you hung out and you let me, I don't know, like, throw myself to the wolves and just sort of see what arises and see what happens. Hopefully my aim, and if you feel to share, I read all the comments for the first couple days after a video comes out, all of them, right? Like, that's how we get to be together, and they mean a lot, and they steer things, and they co-create things, and they weave into things that happen in the future. So would love to hear from you. What arose during the little experiment period, the little play that just was. Would love to, and even more so, I would love to hear what it stirred up in you. Not, Sabrina, that was amazing, like, such respect, and like, those are beautiful comments, but really let's fucking make this about you. Like, let's make this a workshop moment where you get to go and just reflect for a minute. Maybe that means you pause for a second and you just go, okay, what got kicked up in me, right? And what just opened up in me? Because my aim is not just that I get to express for me, right? It's this piece of service to the greater good, service to the greater good, and service to the greater good fills me. It also hopefully makes our world a little bit better, right? It's like the ripple effect of just goodness affects goodness, affects goodness, affects goodness. And so now is a really beautiful moment. And I would love to hear what is arising for you in this stepping into your unique Genius, right? Or maybe this like weaving of both your spiritual nature and your beautiful human essence, right? This embodiment of spirit, your spirit, soul embodiment. To me, this is also, weirdly and wildly enough, a doorway or a path into this, which is something that I'm really feeling so loudly at this destined moment in time, is this union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. There are mysteries to be revealed here. There is so much in this sacred union, this like what gets created, when we really bring the feminine up and we really call the masculine down. And that's exactly what I was talking about, in the little play period, the little experiment of Sabrina's freak flag flies, right? But that's a doorway. That's a way to get to that space, not just to hear about it or talk about it, but to fucking embody it, to become it, to become that liberated, that free, also that fucking embodied. That embodied. It's both. We get to do both now. We are living in times where we get to do both. We get all within our bodies, within our relationships, within our worlds, right? We get to experience heaven on earth. We do. It's right here. Again, I just want to thank you for that space. Really and truly, I absolutely love that I get to be here with you, and we are co-creating this space together, right? Like, I don't get to do this if you're not here. I don't get to. And so it's fucking deep gratitude for you being here, right? And co-creating with me. So yeah, just deep bow. All right, let me go back to the astrology. So I promised that I would talk just a little bit about this Saturn Shiva piece, and I promised I would give you some practices. So let me feel into, here's how I'll weave into Saturn. Remember at the start of the little like play practice period where I threw myself to the wolves? Remember I said, I don't feel like I have the structures to go where I want to go. And that's totally true. It's totally true. Like, I went somewhere, but nowhere near where I want to go. I am nowhere near what I want to bring in. Nowhere near what I want to create and gift this world with and open spaces for, right? Like, that's going to take a mystery school. That's going to take like deep diving retreats. It's going to take a different platform. It's going to take a different framework and a different platform, a different structure to bring in what it is that I am really desiring to bring in. That's Saturn. That's Saturn on this full moon. I love that it showed up here, right? I love it. I literally get thrown to the wolves sometimes in the most perfect ways. And that was one of the most perfect ways, because I can feel the fullness of what it is. And then I have the awareness to go, structure doesn't fit. That's totally true. It's totally true. Okay, what is the structure? What's the foundation? What do I need to hold what it is that I want to do, right? Maybe you're not in the right job. Maybe you're not living in the right place. Maybe you don't have the right routines daily. Maybe you don't have the right mindset. I mean, this can be structure and foundation in any ways. It could be, for me, it's like, it's not a 30-minute YouTube video. It's a 12-week mystery school, which it actually is, right? It's not here yet. It's coming, like, probably rather quickly. But feeling into, this unique blueprint and going, okay, Saturn, let him be the gift giver who creates the solid foundation and the structure to support you flying your freak flag, to support you stepping into your unique zone of genius. It might take challenging conversations. It might be getting real with your needs, which is sometimes so tough for us. It's sometimes so tough, right? Especially those of us who've been serving for a really long time. Like, sometimes it's really hard to access our needs. But if we can go, okay, me being selfish, it's not being selfish at all, but that's what our brain does. It thinks we're being selfish. Me being selfish actually will allow me to gift this world in a way that I never fucking could. Me having new self-care routines will allow me to gift this world in a way that I couldn't before, because I would be too tired. I would be too burnt out. I didn't have the energy for it, right? Or whatever it is for you, right? I need to shift, reallocate my time, priorities. This is one of those moments in time where we're really looking at our priorities, values, right? What is the most valuable stuff to be spending our time on? Where am I wasting time, right? Let me shift my priorities. Let me shift my priorities. Saturn also brings integrity. Now, this is all amplified to me by Shiva. This is just amplified by Shiva. It really highlights the gift side of Saturn. This is how I feel it in this moment in time, is Shiva being there, conjunct the moon with Saturn. It's literally like, all right, Saturn, you're going to be Gandalf, right? You're going to be the wisdom elder. And I'm also going to bring in really high level light, right? To keep it pure. Because Saturn has a tendency to limit, to cage, to constrict. That's also Saturn. It's also Saturn. But it's literally like, no, you're not going to do that, Saturn. Like, you're going to stay on the high side. You're going to stay on the high side. Saturn, you're on the high side, man. That's it. That's it. And we are all here all about destiny. And so really stepping into that and asking ourselves, what do we need? What do we need to do what we came here to do? What do we need? Do I need to go away for 3 months so I can write that book? Do I need to take a course so that I just have the right tools to get deeper into myself, right? What do we need? What do you need? What do you need? Yeah. All right, let me feel into some practices for us for this full moon. I know I go through and give a lot of different practices throughout, so feel free to go back and go, okay, this was great, this was great. Just listening to that piece again will be a really good practice for this full moon. But for me, I just keep seeing this cross, right? I just keep seeing this grand cross. When I feel into this moon, I see this grand cross and I see this crossroads. Like, I see it really as a crossroads, right? It's sun, moon, this is just how I'm gonna do it. Sun, moon, right? North node, south node can be my elbow over here, right? And it's just, it's really, really beautiful. And if you can imagine yourself right here at the crossroads, you're right there at the middle, at those crossroads, right? And you've got all these supports, right? You've got the moon with Saturn, with Shiva. You've got the sun in Leo. You've got that Leo energy coming in. With Venus, you can put Venus, because she's just moved signs, and they're very, very potent when they just move signs. So you can add that to the mix. And there's so many more different things that we could weave into this, but I'm going to keep it super simple, right? Then you can feel into, so that's the sun and the moon. You feel into all of those things are just hitting you in the center, right? And then you feel this north node, south node line. You feel that north node, south node line, which is south node, karma, past lifeline, ancestral stuff, like where you've come from. And something that you can do during this full moon is you literally find a prayer, a mantra, a meditation where you are bringing the gifts. You're not bringing the heavy karmic weight from the south node. Just watch this, because this is potent as hell, right? And so you just get really, really clear. Like, what is it that I know that I don't know how I know, right? Like, I run a priestess training. I just know it. Yes, I've trained for decades also to be able to hold that space, but there are things I just know it. It is very past life for me. It's very karmic. It's very south node imprinted. I don't know how many lifetimes I've spent in a temple space. I don't know how I know what I know. I don't know how I know what I know sometimes. It's that kind of energy, right? It's that kind of energy. It's like, well, I don't know how I know what I know, but I know. We all have it. So if you're going, well, I just don't count. No, you do. You do. You just haven't accessed it. You just haven't, and it's like a deeper layer. We have to get out of the mundane. We have to get out of the personality. We have to get out of just talking, right? And go to a deeper level. So finding what'll take you deeper. Maybe it's joining Bones, right? Maybe it's joining membership. We've done it for 2 months now. We've worked this line. We've gone deeper. So if you're like, I don't know, Sabrina, I don't know. Well, $47, you get like 8 hours of fucking workshops to go right there. And now I might not be the person for you. That it might not feel right. Total respect for that, right? But find what does. Find what does. You know, what will take you deeper there. Okay, so So that, and then really feeling into your forward trajectory. If I was going to really let it fly, this is Leo season. You could go big, right? Big. And it's Aquarius full moon. If I was really going to be just uniquely me, and I don't care what anyone else thinks, that's Aquarius. Aquarius has this amazing capacity to just not care what anyone thinks. Not care. I'm going to wear this outfit just because I like it, right? This is just authentic, true to self. I don't care. Whatever. Like, you don't like it? That's okay. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. It's not going to shift me or influence me or move me. Us sensitives and empaths, this is our time, right? Us people pleasers, this is our time, right? To really shed some of that. We do not need the good opinion of others, right? And to really go, okay, if I was going to shed all of that, shed the good opinion of others, shed having to fit in, shed the shoulds. I should do this. My family expects this of me. I'm in this role, so I must do this. We shed all of that. And we go to this like so true, like soul heart, right? Deep heart, like our deep soul heart, like soul heart. I'm like, what is it that I am longing to bring into this world, longing to experience, longing to create for myself? What is it? What is it? And not just for myself, it's in service to the greater good, right? It's in perfect alignment. It's in perfect harmony. When I'm serving the greater good in this true deep way, I'm also serving myself. When I'm serving myself in this true deep way, I'm also serving the greater good. That's just a spiritual truth. It's just a spiritual truth. When we hit it, we can't bullshit it. We can't lie about it. We can't egoical it. We can't manipulate it. It's when we really, really hit it, you'll know, right? It's like the inner knowing that you just know what you know and you don't know how you know it, or you get the call and you just know it. Now you could talk yourself out of it, because we all do, right? We all do. We let the outside voices come in. We let the little tape of doubt, who are you to do that? All of that come in. But it's like the thing that you just know. You just know. It's just what's true. It's just what's true. And if we can let that lead the way, if we can fuel that, if we can inspire that, in whatever ways, maybe it's your meditation practice deepens so that you can give this more fuel, more space, more time, more love. Maybe it's soul groups, right? Joining bones. Maybe it's if you're in bones, maybe it's spending more time in there, right? That's the live membership thing that I was talking about, a whole bunch of hours for $47 of workshops that go deep, right? Like if maybe it's that, maybe it's something else, but it's what do I need to do to nurture this? Like it's a tiny little seed, and it needs water, and it needs sunshine, and it needs nourishment. What can I do? Who are the people? What are the things that are water and nourishment for this? Water and nourishment for this, so that it can get stronger and stronger and stronger, and that I can then walk in that direction of my unique genius, my soul's longing. I am telling you, imagine if we all did that. Fuck. Imagine if the whole world, or 50% of the world, let's just say 10, right? 10% of the world. Imagine what would happen on this planet when we start soulful living. Of I can't fathom. I can't fathom that. I can't fathom that. I'm gonna fight for it like hell though. It's part of what I came here to do. All right, my dear friends, if you like this video, hit the like. If you think there's someone in your life that this would serve or inspire or help them in some way, share it with them. If you feel to leave a comment, would love to hear it from you. If you want to go deeper into things, think about joining bones. That's the big deep dive into the South Node, North Node. It's also a space where we just kind of hold ourselves to soul truth. If you want to do some really high vibe stuff, check out the video that's up next. It's Lionsgate. We're still in the Lionsgate portal. Whether Lionsgate is true or not for you, it doesn't matter. It opens up this portal to really high, beautiful juice. And if you invite that high, beautiful juice into that little seed that we are planting and that we are bringing water to, and we are bringing nourishment and sunlight to, it will almost like rocket ship you toward that. So that's just an option, the video that's up next. Also, we just released Rewilding Your Relationships. So if working in that energy, in relationships to self, relationships to your lover, to your partner, to your friends, to your community, if relationships is something that is top of mind, it's $100 off right now, just because it's the brand new release period for it. So you'll find links for that stuff below, but we'll do some more. Yeah, who knows? I'm going to keep my mouth shut, because I never know what's coming tomorrow, much less next week. All right, so much love to you. I will see you when I see you, where I see you, and how I see you. Mwah.